Boosie, 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 Boosie. We're going to talk about Boosie's self-sabotage. What was Boosie thinking? Like, I just can't believe Boosie, out of all people, this is somebody who beat death row, beat cancer, survived getting shot, but yet he still found a way to self-sabotage himself, his family, his empire, all of that other stuff. We need to learn something from Boosie, man. Like, we have to move better. Like, really, somebody that beat death row, you would think that he would move better. He ended up snitching on himself. Let me tell y'all what's going on with Boosie right now, man. He got denied bond because the feds picked him up. He had a state charge. I believe it was in California. If I'm wrong, let me know. He had a state charge, but that got dropped and the feds picked him up. That happened yesterday. He got denied bond and he's facing, rumor is, up to 15 years in prison. He's a convicted felon that had possessions of the firearms and stuff like that, right? So his freedom is on the line, and it's looking like it's a high possibility that he could go to jail. Now, people were talking about, okay, he could pay money to get out and stuff like that. That's going to be a lot of money, and I don't know if it's going to be looking good for him. But not only that, the man pretty much snitched on himself. Now, I'm going to play this video, and this is fair use, by the way. Shout out to the person that posted this, but the man snitched on himself in the Math Hoffa interview. And before I play this not to put the blame on Math Hoffa. Math Hoffa was asking questions just like Vlad asked questions. But I want you to peep that Boosie wasn't talking about this in a scenario case. He talked about, oh, it's happened plenty of times. Let's watch this real quick, man. Let's watch this.
So you get pulled over, right?
Yeah.
Cops found a weapon. Who gun is this?
Yeah. What happened?
You keep it real in that situation too?
What you mean if the cops find the weapon?
Yeah, if they find a weapon, it's like 5 of y'all in the whip. It ain't sure.
It did happen plenty of times.
Yeah,
My boy.
You see what he said? It didn't happen plenty of times. So that already puts it in a reality situation and not scenario. Let's keep going.
My boy gonna say that's his guns when they come to the car.
Let me take it back.
Say that's his guns when they come to the car.
Yeah,
my boy gonna say that's his guns when they come to the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they do.
They always
That's
pull
when you have the youngest person in the clique for all the time around you.
You see what he said? My boy gonna say it's his gun. It's happened before. This is what you call self-sabotage because they can use that in court. They can use that in court. That is self-sabotage. Now, Boosie has been able to avoid the LGBT community for his comments, right? And I agree with a lot of what Boosie was saying. Boosie has the right to freedom of speech. He wasn't downing anybody, but you can't say nothing about that community because they'll come for you. But fortunately enough for Boosie, that's not his fan base. Boosie has that ratchet street hood fan base. And I guarantee you nobody from that, well, it might be people from that community, but in a large bulk, their mainstream America, LGBT, they're not going to be at Boosie Bash. They're not going to be at his concert. So he had the right to do all that other stuff and avoid it. Unlike the baby said something and then they came for him and sabotaged him. But Boosie was able to avoid that. He's lucky he was able to avoid the alphabet community. But despite that, death row, being shot, he survived that, cancer, all of this other stuff. Plus, he's diabetic, but he doesn't have enough sense to move around just with the security, not having weapons and stuff like that. Like, you got to move better. Now, you do need to defend yourself. However, it would be different if this particular situation where he's talking to Math Hoffa Thompson, yeah, I let my young niggas do it. Really? And he's saying it happened plenty of times. They're going to be able to use this in court. This is not smart. And Boosie's in his 40s. So that makes him what you could call an OG. You would think somebody that beat death row, beat the system, would have plenty of sense to not say no stupid shit like that. Come on, man. Come on. I just can't believe it. And then the other thing is, he's been going so hard on the whole not snitching, being real streets. I speak for the streets. That's all fine. But if you're moving in a certain type of manner and you're in a certain type of position, this could come back to haunt you like it is doing now. At first, we didn't know what he was going to, why the feds came, but the feds actually did come, and man, they got him. Denied him bond. So he's not getting out. No time, not right now. So he apologized. He sent a tweet out and apologized to his kids, his family, because Boosie knows what's at stake. He's been in these type of situations before. Now, this isn't a life or death situation like Death Row was, but this is a doing some time situation. The feds picked it up. This is a serious matter. Now, I don't know where Vlad is. If Vlad released a statement, let me know. But this is what happens when you go, keeping it real goes wrong. This is when keeping it real goes on. I'm sorry, I say goes on. This is when keeping it real goes wrong. This is what Dave Chappelle did skits about. This is what actually happens when y'all go on these Vlad platforms, these different podcasts, and you keep it a little too real. He could have just kept it as a scenario and said, well, you know, a scenario like that, and, you know, I'll just say that this is that, you know, the young niggas take the blame for it. That can be fought in court, but you just saying, yeah, it didn't happen plenty of times. What? Are you serious? This is a perfect example of when keeping it real goes wrong, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a learning experience. This is a learning lesson for everyone who wants to be a part of this culture, this street, no snitching culture. Now, I don't condone snitching at all, but I mean, I'm a civilian though. So, I mean, if snitching comes up, I mean, I'm not a street nigga, so I got no dog in that fight. However, this type of stuff can happen and be used against you. People calling it karma. Charleston White been clowning him. I don't know. I ain't gonna say karma, but the energy that you put out there, going so hard on Gunna, creating that energy of just, man, fuck this, fuck that, you need to be street. That energy can come back and haunt you like it is now. But Boosie basically self-sabotaged himself. He didn't have to, he could have just said one or two things about Gunna, but he let Vlad kind of drag him out, other platforms drag him out and speaking on it. It's okay to be a real nigga. It's okay to do that. But you also got to tone that shit down so stuff like this doesn't happen. But this is self-sabotage, I think, altogether. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Do you think Boosie could beat this? Do you think that it's a wrap for him? He gonna do the 15 years? Let me know. Do you think I'm tripping? Follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/RedsView. Make sure you hit the like button and the bell button for notifications. This is J Red Reds View signing out.